What will happen if we cut down and consume all the trees of the planet and don't plant enough? As of now, we have 4.3 trillion trees on our planet. We cut them for various reasons. We consume them for our need. We in return plant some trees, not exactly the same number of trees. And this is called as the returning hysteresis. Let us first discuss what is hysteresis. Nowadays, we purchase many things online from various online portals. We all have experienced this in our day-to-day life. The portal there suggests us what to shop, what to purchase based on our history. The tendency of a system by virtue of which its outcome or the further course of action depends on its history is called as hysteresis. Yes, that's hysteresis. Let's take an example. In the last week, I had shopped for clothes like some trousers, jeans or some shirts. This week when I'm going to shop from the same online portal, it will first suggest me based on the history of my shopping some new arrivals from the clothing section. Now if I go forward and shop for clothes, there is no hysteresis loss. But instead, if I go for grocery shopping instead of clothing, there will be a hysteresis loss because the system had informed me about clothing shopping based on my history of shopping, and I, discarding it, diverted from the history and went for shopping of something else. This is called as hysteresis loss. Exactly the same way, we will discuss about what happens when we consume a tree and in return we want to give something to nature. 2000 papers are made from one tree trunk. That means, suppose in an year, if you have consumed 10,000 papers, you have actually consumed 5 trees, 5 fully grown up complete trees. Now, in return, you may do some plantation and may plant 1 tree. But what about rest of the 4? The thing here is that many of the organization, corporates and even individuals, we all consume trees, but in return we do not plant the exact number of trees. If we consume 10 trees, we should actually plant 10 trees to maintain the equilibrium, to maintain the environmental harmony. But instead, what happens is we under plantation plant some of the trees, and under CSR, corporate social responsibility, do some activities like we build hospitals, schools, colleges, even orphanages. That's a good initiative, no doubt at all. But if we take tree from nature, the nature needs the trees to be written in the exact equal number. We have point A where we wish to consume tree. Yes, at the point B we have consumed the tree by cutting it, by consuming it in the form of say fuel for burning or for infrastructure or whatever. Now when we have the plan to return a tree, return something to nature, not a tree, something to nature to maintain the equilibrium, to maintain the environmental harmony. But instead of following the same path of planting the trees in return, we diverted from that path and we built some hospitals, colleges under CSR and plant only 2 trees. So planting 2 trees instead of 10 which we had consumed, and then diverting from the path, building schools, colleges and even orphanages and making some impact on social goodwill. Great. So this portion here is the hysteresis loss. Your history had informed you that you have consumed trees, so you should return the trees. But instead of returning exact equal number of trees, you have returned few of them and you have done something else which is also good for society, but not the exact plantation of exact number of trees. This is called as hysteresis loss in the form of returning to nature. That's why this is particular term called as the returning hysteresis. Today we have more trees on earth as compared to 35 years ago, but today's rate of cutting down trees is also more. So we are rapidly losing the trees. Parallelly, we are also planting the trees. But the rate of plantation is not even near to the rate of cutting down trees. That's why the returning hysteresis, the term we discussed, is very crucial. Otherwise, we will build more colleges and orphanages and many other socially useful things under CSR, but will be having less number of trees, and that way we are inviting say ice melting of north and south poles, deforestation, desertation, global warming, depletion of ozone layer and many more things. The main agenda, the main objective of every one of us today should be to reduce this hysteresis loop. Suppose I have consumed 20 trees and I have planted 2 trees. Plantation of 18 trees is pending at me, but under CSR activity of my maybe office my company, I have participated in building an orphanage which is also needed for the society, and a school which is also very much beneficial to the society where I live. Hysteresis loop remains there, remains as it was. I have done good for society, but yet 18 trees plantation is pending, which is equally important. So what we can do instead is, if now we have the hysteresis loop, we already have built the orphanage or the school or the hospital, now we will make the participants to plant the trees. Directly or indirectly, we can reduce the hysteresis loop. If we have consumed 20 trees, we should give in return to nature 20 complete trees, not 2 trees, and instead of 18 trees, some CSR activity and building some orphanages and schools and colleges. This way we can maintain the environmental equilibrium. Also, we can take some precautionary measures about global warming, ice melting at North and South Pole, desertation, ozone layer depletion, and many other crucial environmental crises.